And I want to start off with the respect, first off, of the unfortunate news that we just got by the time I'm recording this 2 days ago. And that was the passing of WWE Hall of Famer, the all man's man, the living legend, Harley Race. Harley Race passed away. And you know what's funny? Like, I just seen Harley Race a couple months ago.
Did you really?
Yes, because Harley Race came to Icons of Wrestling, and he had a good amount of people in line. He was in a wheelchair, and I was just like, and you know what's messed up? I was there with Chubbs, and I was there with one of Quattro's friends, and we was just like, I should go see Harley Race. And then Chubbs like, you should probably go see him. But I was like, but it was something I don't know if I want to take a picture with Harley, because I mean, he looked bad. I feel bad. He in a wheelchair, but I'm like, I should have went over there and just meet Harley Race. And he was right there. I seen him obviously, but to go over there and shake his hand. I mean, of course I went to go see people like Scott Hall and stuff like that. But I mean, I went to then I get a chance to go see Harley Race, the the most famous NWA champions, who is actually part of the NWA Hall of Fame, along with the Wrestling Observer National Hall of Fame and all WWE Hall of Fame. He's part of like 4 different Wrestling Hall of Fames.
Oh no!
Yeah, the man is a big deal. Now, obviously, Harley Race between all of us is before our time, because Harley Race was started in the 60s and came in the 70s. He was born in the 1940s, so Harley Race was an old guy. I wasn't introduced to Harley Race until 1992. Again, how many times do I come on this wrestling podcast and say my first match was Vader versus the British Bulldog on WCW Saturday Night? Exactly, in 1992. That's when I first started wrestling. But people don't know that at that time, Harley Race was the manager of Vader back then. And that's where I thought Harley Race was. I just thought he was one of them, old manager kind of things. And they kind of played at the racist angle with Ron Simmons when they was going on the whole thing of Vader about to win the championship. Ron Simmons about to win the championship from Vader and everything. And that's when I remember Harley Race. And then they had the whole King Harley Race gimmick going on in the late 80s of the King of the Ring thing. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. He may have been the first King of the Ring winner. I got to go back and actually look at the history. But I want to let everybody know right now that Triple H bump that you see when he flies outside the ring, that's the Harley Race bump. Okay, he was doing that bump first, and then more of the newer generation knows it as the Triple H bump. But I'm saying, that's the original Harley Race bump. So I know he was a little before all of our times, but does anybody have any kind of memory or any kind of action or anything that they wanted to say about Harley Race?
Well, I know for me, I got introduced to him watching TNA because he was
oh God, not that version.
I'm just saying, that's the first time I ever heard of Harley Race, period. He was in TNA. He was doing something with the NWA title, presenting it or something like that. This is the early, 2002.
Is that, Steamboat. Yeah, that's back when he had the NWA name. Is that when he gave it to Ron Killings?
No. It was him, Steamboat, and other people. I think they ended up giving it to Shamrock.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was something.
Wait, they gave it about the who?
Shamrock.
Ken Shamrock.
Okay, Ken Shamrock. All right.
Yeah, but I went back to go watch because they said he was a wrestler, and then I seen him in older WWE clips. Then I saw him in Flair and Starrcade. Yeah, just a lot.
How about you, Q-Flow? This is the case.
I mean, I've never known Harley Race, but I mean, it's still, as far as his family, we just want to, send thoughts and prayers out. I definitely know what they're going through, so, just hold your head strong. You see, he's in a bunch of Hall of Fames, so he's decorated when it comes to these Hall of Fames, it looks like. So, just to his family, his friends, his loved ones, just hold your heads high, and just keep moving forward. Let his legacy shine through you.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
That's some good inspirational words. And I like I said, when I found out about Harley Race, he was more than just the manager of Vader. I had to go back and look at some old Harley Race matches and stuff like that. And how surprisingly, for my generation, I was like, how surprisingly good they were. Because usually I will go back and watch a match, and I'll be like, God, the old school wrestlers like so boring. It's kind of like watching a 1950s game of basketball, and you just see them like open palm bounce that ball and not dribble through the legs and no cross. I'm just like, oh my God, how they play this for decades like this? And I'm like, but it'd be so kind of boring. But the thing about his matches back in the 70s and 80s, especially like facing Ric Flair at for the NWA Championship at Starrcade '83, those matches was like good. They like stand the test of time in a way. And I was one of the people that was like, hey man, it's actually pretty cool that I can go back, because there's not a lot of guys, especially the old time and stuff like that will have a match to stand the test of time. My favorite cage match to this date still has been Tully Blanchard versus Magnum TA in that was it I Quit steel cage match. I love that match, and that's an old match from the 80s that stands the test of time. Is it the best steel cage match, like really, like on paper? Probably not, but I'm just saying, but it's been one of my favorites. So I like going back and watching the older guys work, and hearing him talk on the promos on that whole Jim Crockett stage that they had with Tony Schiavone and all the things, people of that nature. So it's very a shame that I was reading that he been through like a rough life. Like his first wife that he got married to, they was in a car accident and she died 5 weeks later. Can you imagine getting married and then 5 weeks later is a car accident, and then your wife dies and he almost lost his leg? Kind of reminds you like with Flair was.
Did he fall down the stairs or something?
What, in the car?
No, I heard he fell down some stairs or something. He fell. That's why he was on the crutches and wheelchairs and stuff.
I mean, it could have. I mean, if you're talking about like 2019, because he had lung cancer. But I don't know if there was like a fall that happened recently. But I know when I see him.
Well, I mean, like around the time he was on
Oh, okay, I'm just saying. I mean, that I'll be honest with you, I'm not necessarily sure, but I do know when I did see him, and then Ric Flair had told that he had lung cancer, so he was and then Dustin Rhodes put out on Twitter, I believe, that he was the one that passed away from lung cancer. And then I think Ric Flair said it was terminal. The doctor said it wasn't, but then it turned out that obviously he didn't, live too much. He was diagnosed with this in April. So from April to August, that's that could be, pretty terminal. Once you hit that terminal, it's like ain't much, we can do for you.
Right.
But he was a nine-time world champion. One, and then of course most famous for the NWA Championship, World Heavyweight Championship, which is a belt that I took a picture with Dolph Ziggler in the picture where I met Dolph Ziggler at Comic-Con. I had that same belt. I always wanted that.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
You did what now?
I took a picture with Dolph Ziggler with the classic Harley Race Ric Flair NWA World Heavyweight Championship, the one that got the globe and shit on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure I heard that right. All right.
Yeah, you heard it. Hey, look. I'm not going to take this away. I'm a Ziggler fan. I'm already mad that the rumors that I talked about last week on the podcast is already probably going to come true. All right, so
24 seconds. 24 seconds.
I'm just saying, I'm already a little tight about that on both ways, but I'll talk about that later. But yes, I had that championship, so that's been one of my favorite championships. And then every time I look at that championship, it's only synonymous for me with three people.
Ron Killings.
Stop it. You know what? Now, as much as I do like R-Truth, and much as what I like what he's doing with the 24/7 championship, nah. I mean, am I happy that they made him the first black NWA champion? Yeah, okay. Oh, but I'm just saying. But yeah, he ain't really knocked the socks off, bro. I'm sorry, I don't need my world champion doing like jump down splits, but whatever. But when it comes to that belt, it was 3 people that was synonymous with that belt. That was Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, and Harley Race.
Okay.
Those were the 3 that no matter what happened, they had that belt. Now, if I still had that belt, I would definitely take a picture, wheelchair or not, with the Harley Race and take a picture with him in that championship belt. So, it meant a lot. So, it's very unfortunate when you see, like, the legends die. I mean, people die. It happens every day, every minute, every hour, every month, every year. There's going to be some heartache. That's just the unfortunate, circle of life, as they call it. I'm saying, but that's what it is. And you don't want to see the legend, stuff like that, go. But then when you hear the news, it's heartbreaking at first, especially when it's a big one. So I'm hoping that they really give a nice tribute to him on Raw, on SmackDown. I mean, they put something up on the website, but he was a big time legend. He wasn't, like, no disrespect, he wasn't no Hurricane. How they wanted to bring the Hurricane back, act like he was actually like a legend instead of like a nostalgic jobber. So he was a big deal. This man's in 4 Wrestling Hall of Fames, 8-time champion in this company, 9-time champion in this company. This man is on the level of Ric Flair and the Hulk Hogan and stuff like that. He was gritty. He was one of them old school style wrestlers and everything like that. So he will be missed. He will be. And I wanted to make sure before we got deep into the podcast that we made sure that we talked about Harley Race.
Right.
So